Happy Thursday, you all. Welcome back to the Kentucky X-Files Midweek Mysteries.
This is our podcast.
Ah!
Are we doing it Thursday?
Yeah, it comes out Thursday.
Yeah, it's on
I thought
Thursdays.
we did the first one on Wednesday.
Welcome to the show.
That's just bad calendaring on my part, probably.
No, it was Thursday.
Was it?
It
Was it?
Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, I suck.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
believe you insult my honor. Yeah. Sorry. little lover spat there at the beginning.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, so what's new? What's new this week? I know there's a lot of weird shit going on out there.
Mine's not new. Mine's old.
Tell us what do you got?
Well, I stumbled across it because it's actually a movie. The Amityville Horror.
Oh,
Okay.
Familiar?
I have to I wanted to bring it up on this midweek because it still has a lot of mystery behind it, and in a way, it does have some news this year for it. I think the original people in the house, the reason why it was sold to the Lutz family back in the day for pennies.
Yeah.
Was the DeFeos. And Ronnie, I think his name is Ronnie DeFeo Jr. is the one that was convicted of the crimes that were committed there. And he actually passed away in March this year.
Really?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. He was serving, I think they said, 150 years sentence.
Wow.
So...
It doesn't seem like that long for the amount of people he killed.
Oh yeah, 6 people, 4 children, 4 kids, and 2 adults.
I mean, I can't. Okay, I'm sorry to be insensitive or whatever, but why not just just
Save life.
Why not just execute him? I mean,
oh yeah, that too. Well,
and you're gonna serve 160 years, 150 years. I could just get rid of him, just kind of.
you
Amityville
gotta.
him.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. We can probably talk forever about the actual justice system that goes on and the weirdness. Okay, you're gonna put me on death row, but you're not gonna kill me, and
Yeah.
you could die on death row.
Yeah.
Before they put you
But they do alcohol swab your arm before they give you the lethal injection.
Yep.
Because you don't want to.
You don't want to catch anything.
You don't want to catch something.
No infections.
But back to the story. Apparently, the DeFeos were a big family. It was, I think, 2 girls. One was the second oldest, and 3. And then I think the youngest was a girl. And then there was 3 boys. The oldest is Ronnie DeFeo Jr. And then there was 2 other boys. There was their family wasn't I can't say I don't want to say a typical family, but they had their own business, a body shop, and granted Ronnie DeFeo Jr. He wasn't the well-liked person. He was into drugs, drank a lot, got into fights, but his dad, Ronnie DeFeo Sr., wasn't the best person in the world either.
Big Ron?
Yeah, he was a bit of a piece too. He would start fights with his sons for no reason. There was countless talks about him actually beating the wife.
Jeez.
So it wasn't a happy home at all.
Yeah.
So,
And it really never has been since, has it? I mean,
no.
from what I understand.
No, it's
Right.
I'll get into that later. But so long story, to get to can go further with this. Things started to happen, they said, especially the night of. He went to bed high, drunk, whatever.
Yeah.
And apparently he woke up and just shot everybody. And this was a lever action gun. No silencer, nothing. 2-story house. He was in the basement. So, first people to go was his parents. So he shot his parents while they were sleeping, and then just started going through the house.
Wow.
Shoot his sister, his older sister, 2 brothers in their beds, and then went upstairs to the littlest sister and shot her.
Wow, holy shit.
So, okay, to go through that, there's some discrepancies. Like, some people said that he went to a friend's house after this happened, and some people say that he actually got into the shower, cleaned up, and then went to work, and then later said, like, told police what happened. Like,
Jesus.
Well, he said he found them like that.
And it's not really surprising. You think the mindset you got to be in to slowly stroll through a house and kill everybody in it.
Yeah.
It's,
So with that being there, he proceeded to, since there was no. They did say that they thought the DeFeos had some mob ties. They thought that there could have been foul play with all this.
Yeah.
But it slowly started, like, there was more of the gunmen and stuff, but they kind of threw that out. Then they focused on Ronnie Jr. He started to tell him different stories, like, yeah, the mob did come in, they forced me to do it. Then another things, like, starting to say that voices told him to kill his family, like, saying that they started to, like they were demons or something, how he said. And then they said, like, he, in one form of his story, he said that he saw a hooded, black-hand figure come down to, he lived in the basement, come down to the basement and hand him the gun. And then on top of that, they said people did see the older sister outside with a big jacket, hood on, and with the gun. Before all this, like, I don't know how close it was, if it was that more like that before that night came.
Weird.
Or whatnot. And they did say they found, I think somebody said they found gunshot residue on her clothes. Like, she shot the gun before that, like, that day she shot it someday.
Wow.
So, but she was killed. She was one of the victims. So then there was a lot of speculation on maybe the older siblings conspired to kill the family, to kill the parents, especially with not being a happy home. Like I said, his dad was not the nicest person.
Yeah.
He did lash out on the children.
Right.
So that story could have been fair, like, to, like, sum it up, saying that. So what some people are saying, that they think that the daughter killed everybody and then gave him the gun, and then when he found out that she killed everybody, he shot her. And then when the whole thing was going through it, the grandfather, he's like, "You're dragging my name through the mud. I don't care what happened. You just confess and get this over with. I don't want to hear anything about your sister or anything. No matter what, she is gone, and you're going down for all of it. Because even if she did it, you're going down for it. There's
crazy.
Yeah.
So that's
It's very mob-like.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's the thing.
I didn't
So
know any of that.
before going into the Lutzes,
Yeah.
after the whole thing, like, yeah, he was convicted, all that stuff. He still, like, we're saying that he seemed like he was possessed, blah, blah, blah. But before going into that, think about what's going on. This was a leather action gun, not silenced. Think about that. 2-story houses. 2 people shot right after, boom, boom, boom. Don't you think somebody would have woke up?
Yeah.
That is a loud fucking gun.
Oh, yeah.
And it said that gun could have been heard for, like, blocks away, too, from the house. Easily. And they said that the neighbors did not hear a thing at all. No one heard thing. The only neighbor said that it was actually between the times that was supposedly that it happened. A neighbor said, "I heard a dog between 3 and 3:30 in the morning, just going ranting and raving, like their dog
Wow.
ranting and raving." But he said he never heard a gunshot, not one.
It's crazy.
And 9 shots they said was shot. 9 shots.
How do you fire 9 shots without a single person
So-
hearing it?
That implies they reloaded too.
Yeah, like depending on how I don't know how many of those like repeaters would
7?
Usually 7.
Yeah.
7. So yeah, they
One in
said
the chamber and 6 in the tube.
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of times. I mean, it depends on the gun, but
Yeah.
if he shot 9 rounds, he
Yeah.
reloaded.
And when I hear lever, I just think 30-30.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
I think
30
that's
out
what
of
I
6.
Yeah.
want to go back to where I got that, but I didn't. I totally forgot the caliber of the weapon.
Yeah, it could even be a 45 long Colt.
Well, yeah.
But still, not like no matter how like tiny it is, like you would still think that it will was. But I know for a fact it was a decent sized caliber because they like that. They said that people could have heard it blocks away.
Yeah.
And their neighbors are moderately close because they lived on because they had like boat houses and stuff, so they were living along a river. So that's one thing they kept saying that none of the bodies were moved. Like that's another thing too. People said like the bodies don't think they were been moved or anything. So they said that there could have been more than one gunman, like holding them down and doing this. So that, but it goes to show if you think it's mob, what gives the mob what would make the mob
Take out a family.
take out a family? I understand that
hard to say, yeah.
if they saw something that they shouldn't have, tying up loose ends.
Yeah.
Not trying to be insensitive, but just like tying up loose ends of like something like that. But you normally go after the person that did you wrong if there's no like witnesses or something. So wouldn't you think they would just corner either whoever was involved with him, if it was the junior or the father? And they never really dug deeper into the whole mob thing, so I don't know. They didn't disclose. Like you would think that you would have some type of like he was laundering money through his like business or something. That you think that would came in the trial saying like, okay, there's some funny business in the business, so there is potential of foul play with outside people coming in. So with that being said, so those are the like weirdness of it.
Yeah.
So after that, it was boarded up. Like I don't think it was boarded up, but it was locked up for a whole year. And then the Lutz family came. It was actually out of their price range, but they fell in love with the place. It was beautiful.
Got the massacre discount.
Yeah, it was $80,000, and it was a house that was probably worth $300,000.
I mean, it was a buyer's market.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you think about it, it's
And
there's
if
this
you can,
horrible murder that just happened, so you name your price and we'll probably sell it to you.
You gotta think. I don't know if this was an actual quote that they added in the movie, but I would feel like this is what it was. The father of it, George Lutz.
Yeah.
He says that like they were like, do you think it's okay to be in a house that had murders? He's like, houses don't have feelings or memories or something of that nature. So like,
well, well, sometimes they do.
Spoiler
though.
alert.
Yeah.
So yeah, they moved in. They loved the place. Like they just having a good old time.
Yeah.
And then things started to happen. Like he said he started hearing music all over the place, doors coming off hinges.
Spooky.
So he was hearing things and that was another thing to note is that he kept waking up at 3:15, and that's supposedly the time that Ronnie DeFeo Jr. committed the murders.
Wow.
So he kept doing that, and he was starting to feel uneased, like he was just basically coming undone, like something.
I could see it. I mean,
he could not. They said that he could not get comfortable. He was always cold. Like he could not like so they said that the family kept saying that he would be outside for hours chopping wood, burning wood, just going nuts with this because he just could not get like he was always cold. Just like all like nothing like that. And then the like visions like the like things started to happen with him too, like him and his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've really heard anything of the children having anything, but for the most part, the mother and the father had a bunch. Like especially the one where he would wake up and then he would turn over and he would see his wife, and she's like an elderly woman.
Wow.
Like she just looked wrinkly and stuff, and she saw that same thing too in a mirror. Like she looked at an old woman in the mirror. And then
Nope. It's a big nope for me.
Yep.
so like especially like same for the music, they said that at this at late at night
That's when the motivated sellers sign goes out front. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
make offer, motivated sellers.
Yeah.
then he like furniture would have been moved,
Yeah.
like especially when he heard music or something. It would look like he was like it looked like it was meant for dancing or something. Somebody moved it for that.
Yeah.
So and then I guess they said something about what was it? Yeah, the ooze. Like they said, blood dripping from the walls. Like
Yeah, that's time to sell.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
that,
feel like that's
they said they saw that plus.
Advertise that as the
I
house
don't-
paints itself.
yeah. This house paints itself. You're gonna love it.
It's great.
We
As long as you like
recycle.
red.
But then what was it? I don't know if this was in one room or multiple rooms, but they said that there was flies, and around the time that they owned it, I can't remember where they actually moved in, but they said it was like fall winter time, so flies would come into this room, and like why would they be there? Like it's not the right time for flies to even be there at all.
Right.
But a lot of people say that, well, it was boarded, like not boarded up, but it was closed for a year. No one lived in it since the murder, so people think like heat was on, like keep everything good, like well kept. So they think that it could have caused like kept flies in there.
Where is the Amityville Horror House at? That's one thing I'm not sure of.
Crap.
Because that might make a difference.
It was on like a lake or something. God dang it! I had the damn place. I think it was in New York.
Okay, yeah. So if it was in a cold climate like New York,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, somebody might be paying the bills to keep the heat on, to keep the plaster from falling off the walls.
Yeah.
But if it was in like California or something, they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it's Long Island. My bad.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh. Actually, I didn't know where it was at.
Yeah,
I've heard Amityville horror, you know, the house and all that, but I never knew the actual history
So-
of it.
After all this stuff was going on, like even this was another thing too. Their youngest child, the daughter, she started to like says she has a friend, and apparently it appeared to her as a giant, like I can't say a giant, but relatively large pig
Yeah.
with red eyes, and I can't remember the name. They used it in the movie. I can't remember her name. It's a girl's name that she called it, but it apparently looked like a pig. Some people said that one day
Done with it.
No.
he was outside and he looked up and like the famous windows, the ones that look like eyes. That's where she lit. Like she slept. The girl
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where her room was, and he looked up and saw her standing there with a pig-like creature behind her. And when he went up there, she was fast asleep and nothing was around.
Yeah. It's not. See, I have a rule. That I live by. Whereas if upright, you know, giant pig creature things in the house, I just go. I
Yeah.
just leave.
Unless you're at a what is that? Oh man, I totally blanked on the name of the band.
Which one? I did too.
We're gonna have to edit that so we can get it right. Shit. Mushroom Head. Unless you're at a Mushroom
Yeah.
Head concert.
There you
Oh.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, yeah, upright pigs are not
No,
good.
no.
So yeah,
That's a no-no.
the Amityville house is definitely top of my list of places I don't want to go to.
Yeah.
But like to go further into the story to kind of like wrap it up to make it in fruition and like the viewers can make their own assumption of what goes on. So they spent I think they said 28 days in this house.
Yeah.
And they said that they could not like they didn't wake up that day thinking that they were going to leave, but they just enough's enough.
Right.
And they left. Oh yeah, to kind of counter that because I wanted to tell the pig thing. A neighbor did say that he had like some type of cat. I want to say well, I don't know if it was a hairless cat, but he said it was fat and he called it a pig. He called it pig. I don't know if the girl thought
That's just
like because the cat they said like they saw it out of the window too,
yeah.
out of her window. So it could have been
Okay, I see. Like
her saying that it's a pig, blah blah blah, and it was a cat or something.
gotcha.
But somebody did say in one of their own like versions of it that he looked up and saw her and something standing behind her that looked like a pig. So I don't know. This is a lot of like what I say it all the time. Telephone people making up story.
Yeah,
tweaking it, making it.
Yeah, lost in
It's-
translation.
Yeah, lost in translation, I would say.
Right.
But so like they spent 28 days there. That's what they said, and they left. They left all their crap. They left all their stuff behind, and they never came back. But I can't remember. I guess they talked to some paranormal investigators or something, or I don't know if they reached out. But apparently they were talking to it. They said something, but I can't. Like he did. George Lutz didn't want any publicity or something of it. He just wanted to check the house because he wanted to get his stuff back, more or less.
Yeah.
Crap. I missed something. I left something out here. There was a priest in that blessed the house too that ran out apparently
Really?
before they got it, like actually moved in. They said a priest. I think something about the flies because they did do that in the movie,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was in that severest. I guess he like the flies started to come towards him, and then he had an uneasy feeling and he left.
Huh.
With like not saying anything.
I
So,
mean,
like-
biting flies, I would run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So-
annoying.
I mean, even just a swarm of non-biting flies.
yeah.
That'd
So
be a little creepy.
Because it's like, if they're around,
Mhm.
something is rotting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, he left like without talk. Like he just left.
Yeah.
After the like that, but they still moved in. Blah blah blah. So back to that. What I was talking about. I don't know what I was talking about. My bad. I lost my train because I forgot about that.
The magic of editing.
Oh yeah. The investigators. He didn't want them to say anything, but he just wanted to get his stuff back. And then apparently the investigators found out that he was doing a press conference. The lawyer of Ronnie DeFeo Jr.,
Yeah.
his attorney, did a press conference with him. I don't remember what was said in it. I don't know why, but apparently the lawyer said that they spent hours like talking about the whole situation, blah blah blah. There was even a recording, and then next you know, the lawyer started saying something about like he's like, man, we could get movie deals, this and that, blah blah blah. So a lot of people from that, I guess that store like that, are saying that it might be a hoax.
Like, okay.
They did this for money, and that's what their main goal was, going into there for fame. But
Well, I mean, did we know if it worked out? Like, did they?
they made like they get a
Like, did they make a movie?
Yeah, did they make any money? I mean,
every time that it's based off of their story, so they get a piece of everything that comes that.
isn't there like 7 sequels to that movie?
Well, no, there's only 2 movies, but there's 7 adaptations in books.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I kept thinking was if there was that many sequels, I'm like, I mean, come on. By the time you get to the seventh sequel, you've heard of this house.
Right.
You know what you're moving into.
So investigators like actually started to go into there, and especially like I can't remember. I think they called a news station too, and there was a news lady there that wanted to hear about the famous house,
Yeah.
and so it started to spiral out of control. Like, so a lot of like psychics go in there. They said that they had experience, like they felt like cold chills, all of that, and then I think they said one guy said that he felt like he was like pushed back, saying
Wow.
that like something was going through him. Like he said, like flying of demons going through him or something.
Crazy, yeah.
So there was a lot of all that, but the reporter said that I think she was the only one that was not supposed to be a psychic or something.
Yeah.
She had nothing. She felt nothing. She saw nothing. Not a thing. Not one thing. So, but more people went in there, and I think, I'm skimming over a lot of this, but it was just, there was one thing, and I feel like they finally touched, especially in the movies and stuff, an older lady psychic. She went in there, and she basically, I guess she allowed the spirits there to talk through her. They said that she started to talk really low, like abnormally low, like a man's voice, not like a demonic voice, but more of a man's voice.
Yeah.
And
That's
apparently,
the other rule in my book too. Is if somebody starts talking in tongues or guttural or anything, just put the house up for sale. Yeah. It's a good list to live by out there if you guys are.
Keep you alive.
She started talking about apparently it was a burial ground for Native Americans, and
poltergeist tie-in.
So that was what she was like. He wanted them off their land.
Is clear.
Yeah, he wanted them off their land.
Beat me to it.
And stuff like that. So
Yeah.
so they were thinking it could have been a poltergeist, but after that, well, going back to the first ones, I forgot. I think I need to look up the picture. I want to see if we can throw it up there. There was one picture that was taken when all their psychics were there, and that reporter. There was a little boy. It was a picture that just kept taking pictures.
Yeah.
And there was a little boy in the left-hand corner, and they said there was no kids in that house that day.
That's another rule, isn't it?
That's definitely a third. If little kids appear in the pictures around the house that don't belong to you, it's just put the house up for sale and just move. You'll thank me later.
So with that, then the house started to. It started gaining momentum, so books started to come out, especially the first one, it's a Amityville Horror True Story. That was Jay Aarons, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And I feel like, a lot of people said they're embellished. Some of the stuff didn't happen. They think it's a hoax. They think it was a money grab.
Yeah.
And it made them famous too. The Lutz family, like George and his wife,
Right.
went on national TV. So that started a craze for people to go to this area.
Honestly, I mean, there's so much. There's so much to the topic. Even if our listeners want to chime in with anything we missed on this, I'd love to hear it.
It was there were so many people that actually came to the house wanting to see it. They said that people were trying to rip out grass, take something from the
take
house.
something with them.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
So but nowadays people are starting to still say that it was fake, it was a money grab.
Yeah.
But so it's up to you. What do you think? To end it, this place has been through several owners since the Lutz family.
Yeah.
And
Nobody's staying, huh?
No, that's the thing. They said nothing.
Oh,
No,
they didn't say anything.
no, I meant like they have not had any incidents.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
they say it's a lovely home, blah blah blah. Like
We're just not staying.
no, like it's through several different people, but it's in a like case like it's not how to put it. It's being sold for profit too.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, yeah, that
it's
makes
not
sense.
it's not I don't even think it's people that are looking for the property. They just love the property.
Yeah.
And they said that especially the people that after the Lutz family they interviewed them and they said nothing's happened.
Well,
They
didn't it go up for sale after the second movie came out too? I mean, that was like a little on the nose that it. I'm pretty sure like
Yeah, I don't
It-
know.
when the most recent adaptation came out.
Yeah.
yeah, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I believe the house went up for sale like within 6 months of that or something like that. It was pretty close to it, so it was like a, cash grab there too.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I
But
mean,
yeah, they said like the people after the Lutz family that bought it, they said like they did an interview with them to revisit it to see like anything happened. They said nothing.
yeah.
It's all good, like lovely. Because he even asked them like, hey, they left this house in disarray. Like they said that there were like doors off hinges, windows open, things broken, things flung everywhere. They left their stuff. They said that they came into the house neat as can be.
Wow.
Like they could have moved in that night and been fine.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
So, like you don't know like what happened. Like did it fix itself? Like it's like a Christine house.
Yeah.
So, with that, like, I just want to ask the viewers, like, what do you believe? Do you think it's
Yeah, definitely blow up the comments. Let us know.
Like-
Definitely interesting. I'd love to find somebody who lives near that house, or maybe even a previous owner to reach out and we could talk. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, I would like to
just
talk
to
about
hear
it,
something. I got a little something here, and then I mean, unless we got more stuff, I feel like we're pretty good. I just
Yeah.
want to throw this out there mainly because I had a guy write into the Facebook page. I wanted to get this out there to get you listeners, get you guys in on it, because we want to see if anybody else noticed something in this area. So this is from Randy, and he writes, "Hi guys, how you doing? Came over to you guys from howtohunt.com. This is not Bigfoot related, but it is odd. It is an odd encounter, and if anyone might have heard of something similar, it might be you guys. I bass fish, and when full summer gets here, I go nocturnal. Summers ago, I was out on the Rough River Reservoir fishing along the rocky shore of an island, probably around 2 a.m. I could hear something following me at a short distance, catching some eye shine with my headlamp, which wasn't concentrated enough to get any real detail. So I swung the boat around and grabbed my mag light. I wanted to see what it was. Well, I want to tell you what, that joker got behind a pile of rocks, and all I could see was when it would take quick peeks, either over the side of the pile. Basically, all I got was a look of the eyes, which were yellow with somewhat oblong pupils that ran up and down. Now, night vision is mostly two-dimensional, and I could be wrong, but there seems to be a good bit of distance between them. After 5 minutes of the game, I just gave up on seeing what it was, and I cranked up and moved. The next day I did a little research and couldn't find anything that was listed in Kentucky Wildlife that had those type of eyes. Well, there you have it, the Rough River Reservoir. Has anybody else ever seen anything like that? Yellow eyes with...
It couldn't have been very big.
Yeah.
It's not, because the vertical slits and eyes are dedicated to smaller critters,
Right.
like house cats.
Right. He said it was getting behind a pile of rocks and
Yeah.
looking at him.
So maybe like, something small. Because the reason that the smaller hunters have the slits in the eyes like that is so that their vision works with the blades of grass.
Yeah, okay.
That's why the big cats don't have vertical slits. They've got regular round pupils.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So it couldn't have been
doesn't
very big.
reptiles have some of those?
Snakes have
They're vertical.
sometimes they haven't, but they're predators
They're small
that are in the grass.
grass.
And
Gotcha.
it's all about the blades of grass. That's the reason that the eyes are shaped like that.
There you go. Well, if you guys out there have heard anything about the area, any critter out there or animal that you think might be this thing, let us know so we can reach back out to Randy and let him know what we come up with.
Maybe he's got a little people thing like Kentucky does.
Little people with eyes like that.
Yeah.
That's another rule.
Yeah.
for fishing at night. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just
Don't
don't
do
do it. If you can fish at night, but if you see little people with slits, just leave. Fish another day.
Roll it up.
Yep. Reel it in. Get out of there.
Yep.
So I think we're good for this
Oh,
week. I
yeah.
think. Guys.
Excellent. Yeah.
Sorry I took up the whole episode.
No, it's
Oh.
interesting. I learned way more about that than I ever knew. I knew about the
could've-
movie.
I could have fudged over a lot, so don't quote me on a lot of the things. I just kind of put this together. I was more along the lines wanted to pick your guys' brains to see, like, what do you believe? Do you think that they were telling the truth,
Yeah.
or was Ronnie DeFeo Jr. actually possessed, or like what evil was in that? Was it just a human evil? Just committed these murders, and then somebody just like, hey, I'm gonna make a money grab at this,
Yeah.
or did something actually go on in that house?
I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Right. No.
So
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.